Hello, hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture. So today we are talking about problematic men in entertainment. Just how these individuals just can get away with a lot.
I mean, really.
And we are bringing in the only woman who's perfect to help us have this conversation.
Come on, man. Can you see my slow clap?
Lady Skollie.
Come on, man. Come
is
on,
her
man.
street name.
Come on, man.
But her real name is... it's because the surname I know I'm not going to say that, and I don't want to say it wrong.
I don't want to say it wrong either, so I'm just going to say Laura.
So she's going to be riding along with us as helping us unpack this conversation because it needs to happen. So welcome to Lady Skollie!
Girls.
So people, if you don't know who she is, then I mean, just wow.
What are you
Then
doing?
you literally
What are you doing?
have not been in the newspaper for about 3 years.
Mail and
you
Guardian.
haven't watched TV for 3 years then.
Yes.
Basically,
It's
for
going,
those that
it's
are
going.
living under this rock,
I
please
mean,
do
yeah.
introduce yourselves because the pop culture popsies have never seen this
They
face
need to know.
on
They
these
gotta know. They
streets
gotta
before.
know.
My name is Laura Windvogel. I'm also known as Lady Skollie. I'm a visual artist from Cape Town.
Woo woo. And she's doing really, really well, guys. So if you haven't, as we've said, seen her on the streets,
I mean,
Twitter, I think, is sort of a hot place
Hot
where
box.
you come with your insights and your
hot
thoughts
box.
So
and your
this is funny.
opinions.
Someone asked me this yesterday. They were like, Laura, you're very left on Twitter now, hey? I'm like, yeah, I feel like people must follow me on Twitter if they want to get to know me, actually.
Yeah.
I just don't hold back there.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you would have heard in the intro, we are here to kind of just dive into the conversation around problematic men in entertainment.
Oh, okay.
And it's not with the intention, obviously, to attack anyone. Entertainment, I think, is probably one of the most influential things in our society. And we have these men that just continue to just speak out of the side of their necks daily and do manuals.
It's in their lyrics, it's the way that they are perceived to have treated someone, because obviously you don't see the day-to-day. It's like, where do we draw the line? So that's kind of what we're trying to ask Uguti. Where is it right, where is it wrong? How do we say you shouldn't be allowed to do anything anymore, and why? And you know, kind
It's
of
funny because I feel like everyone has that like very aggressive reaction to it initially, because they do the whole thing of, so what, do you expect us not to work? You expect us not to eat? You expect us not to do anything? Like, no one said you must become a ex-rapper hobo now. Like, no one said your family must go without a roof over their heads now. But it's like, my main thing is that real healing and real acceptance of what you've done and how you've been, or how your thought process has been, can only happen once you start acknowledging it.
True. Very
So I
true.
guess real remorse. That's that's my only thing.
Me right now, Tembi and I are on a Chris Brown cleanse.
yeah. No, guys,
That sounds crazy.
It takes forever, hey?
No, it sounds
It
crazy.
takes
It sounds
forever.
crazy.
we
but
don't
yeah.
listen to the music. We don't do anything anymore. We're like done.
Chris Brown has never ever pretended to be anything else.
Okay.
That's also my thing. It's like that's this whole line of, when people tell you what they are, you must believe them. Chris Brown has consistently been a dick. Like, in his perception of women, in his way of, like, even when he gets involved with other people's stuff, like 50 Cent and Vivica A. Fox, or how do you say her name?
Yeah.
Like, he's always the guy that comes like clockwork. He will come with the misogyny and the archaic way of being like, yo bitch, get your shit in check, you know?
I think what you said about he's never been anything but a dick, all that stuff is coming back. How the incident with him and his mom breaking the window, the Karuchi thing is the most recent thing that comes to mind, when he did those whole posts like, you would be nothing without me, bitch, da 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 da.
And where does that come stem from?
And I'm just like,
the power came from your penis. I was never an individual before you injected all of that greatness into me through my vagina.
It's almost like, and I was saying this to Bonga and Tembi yesterday, it's like it's a movie.
Yeah.
And it almost plays out as okay, cool, cut, the script is done, and now new script, now we're gonna start on a new clean chapter, and now he's a new man today. Fuck that, it doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing locally. We've got Euphonic, we've got Okay Malum Cool Cat. There's probably a long list of men who have come out to do crazy things in terms of what they've done or what they've said on social media, and they don't want to be held accountable for it. It's almost like they want I did this thing, I don't want to talk about it, let me go and let me speak when I'm ready. I'm like, bitch, no, because when do we address the thing to properly move on? Because I'm not going to stand at a performance at a party celebrating and jamming to knowing
What song is that?
I have no idea.
But guys, you talking from the perspective of women. Did you know that men have this thing that cripples them called ego? Did you know that? Do you know that there's this thing that they have where they can't even admit that they've done something, because if they admit that, then apparently it makes their dick smaller. If they're gonna admit that they did something wrong, their penis is gonna lose 2 inches. So why would they admit that they did anything wrong to a woman if their penis is gonna be smaller? Then what about the next woman? Because that's how they are about apologies. It's almost like they think that if they apologize, it's gonna make them less of a man. And that's what's crazy to me, is that like, even with the euphonic thing, even with AKA thing, it's like they would rather shame. Imagine how you're the woman, okay, now you have a baby, now you get a new boyfriend, now you shame for having a new boyfriend, but they can go smack bitches up, rub genitals while people are asleep. But now your girl wants some love.
I can't.
But then she must suffer. Hey, how does that work? So for me, it's also about, I think it's about enabling, because they enabled a lot. All of those people, I'm not making specifics. Every single man who can't admit to something he's done wrong, it's because there's motherfuckers sitting around him going, you didn't even rape her. What are they crying for?
Oh my gosh. See, but this is my thing.
And comparative things.
But this is my thing though, outside of even the entertainment aspect of things, because we've seen on Twitter how number of guys, our everyday guys that we chill with on the daily that aren't even famous, who have been problematized on the streets. And they never want to say anything. They always want to play the victim. Their boys don't want to come and campaign behind the truth. They would rather just sit back in silence and not say anything because apparently it's none of my business. And I'm like, at what juncture is it none of your business? When
do you know when it's their business? This is what I've now realized through this whole thing. It only becomes their business when they know the woman. When it's their mother, when it's their sister, when it's a family friend, and even then, some people don't.
The accountability from the people who are perpetrating, who are doing these manuals, like you were saying, when do you set the ego aside? When do you set in terms of these personalities, these celebrities, when do you set aside the personality? When does Smiso come out? When does whatever Chris Brown's ID
when
name
he can
is
actually
come
understand
out? Christopher Bronze. What?
I think it's Christopher Mars, bro.
When does he come out? When does the real human being outside of the character, outside of the
Maurice,
I'm putting on a show kind of thing, when does that come out for you to acknowledge what's actually happening? And my thing is that it's not always a necessity for it necessarily to play out on TV or anything, but when are you interacting with that human in a way that's, you know, able to make them feel better about the situation, or like where you taking responsibility for the things that you did, and then being able, because you're a public figure, to come out and make some kind of real statement that says how you handled the situation. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've forgotten.
But how fucked up is it? How messed up is it that we sit here and we get angry, nah? But then there's parties and everyone's there. Like, that's my thing. Guys, here's my thing also, nah? You guys now know what I do. You can stop coming to me and then be like, this is so problematic, and like, I just wish someone somewhere would say something, Laura, because you can't stand alone, you know what I mean? Babe, where you have the agency, open your beak. That's the thing. I'm sick of people pretending that they don't have mouths. And it's the whole thing of like, oh, but you know, then some people go, why must you always make things hectic? I'm like, I'm the queen of the awkward moment. I can take awkward moments to all eternity.
Okay.
And my thing is, at the end of the day, I just want to know who is supposed to be accountable, and why is it that men, and I'm not even just posing this to men who are entertainers, but even your everyday regular schmegular.
I'm supporting it to
there's many facets to it, because there's many people who are perpetuating the cycle, and then we think it's okay, and then we laugh about it, but it's not okay, because one day it could be you, and then it's awkward. So it's like
very awkward,
you know. So I think at the end of the day, it's this conversation is an ongoing thing, because it keeps coming and it keeps going from the questioning of rape culture in South Africa from these entertainment people who are doing yours. It's the conversation's not ending. As usual, these conversations never have a full stop.
No.
Ellipsis maybe.
Yeah.
Comma. But not a full stop.
Thank you so much, Laura, for doing this. We really appreciate you. You're like #goals.
You loyal. You smart. I appreciate.
Girl, say it again. We love you.
Thank
Keep
you for
watching.
watching.